What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back. Today is a special day for me, maybe not for you guys, but definitely for me. You may recognize this hulk of a whatever it is at this point behind me. This is the drift truck that you may or may not have seen. This is much older when we had many less subscribers. Anyway, long story short, used to be LS powered. It's very highly massacred. This chassis is really just a chassis at this point.
If you can call it that.
It's really not even hardly that. It's been cut, it's been caged, it's been wrecked, it's been cut more, it's been abused. It's a bad car. Anyway, you will also notice this little girl sitting in front of me. Now this right here, if you know what you're looking at, which I quite honestly might not have known. This is a K24. Now this is gonna be the very first endeavor into Honda power that I personally have ever done. Have you ever done anything Honda?
I have. I've done B18 stuff in that Honda Insight.
Ah, okay, okay. So Aaron's got a little bit of Honda experience. I have quite literally zero. I don't know anything about the swappability of them other than this little peppy sucker seems to be a very affordable, very reliable, very hefty power plant that is also very light and would work perfectly in this pile of trash sitting behind me. So, on today's episode, we introduced the newest series, but before I get too into depth on that, I want to let you guys know, everybody who's watching, I'm waiting for the M20 stroker stuff. I apologize for the delay. That's on me. We've been super busy. I have to get a set of pistons modified so I can show you guys how to do them. I'm in the process of doing that, and as soon as it's done, we will release parts 2 and 3 and show you guys everything you need to do to get it in your car and get it running. But until then, we have another little something to keep you busy watching and keep you entertained. K24, E30, here's the plan, guys. So we've got the K24, we've got the chassis. The transmission is gonna be the stock E30 G260. Now, so far as I know, no one's done this before, but what I do know for sure is that an E36 transmission bolts to an M20. And if an E36 transmission bolts to an M20, I know that an E36 transmission also bolts to an E46. So what I did was I bought an E46 adapter. This E46 adapter should work for an M20/G260. So this little guy is what's called a mid plate, I guess you could call it. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna bolt this to the motor, and this changes it from the K20/K24 bolt pattern to basically a BMW transmission bolt pattern. So we're gonna bolt that up. And then we've got this pretty little girl right here. That's gonna be our adapter flywheel. And you'll be like, hey Will, why does that look so weird? It looks really big and stupid. It does look really big and stupid, but there's a reason for that. So when you're adding another 1.5 inches of depth on your transmission, you have to make sure that your input shaft can spline. So that's why this is kind of raised to hold the pilot bearing. They have to get the right spacing for your starter to engage here. The clutch still has to be able to engage on the fork, yada, yada, yada. This is a very scientific piece that I didn't feel like figuring out how to make work, so I bought one. So hopefully we can figure out how to make it work. But anyway, the goal for today is Aaron and I are hopefully going to figure out if this works with this, with that, on that, in that. And then we're going to put said combo into car. And then we're going to see how the oil pan lines up, if the trans mounts looks like they're gonna line up. The drive shaft should bolt right in because it's a factory transmission. The goal for today, really, at the end of the day, is getting a really, really good idea of how we're gonna make engine mounts for this thing. I don't think it's gonna be too difficult, but I guess we're gonna find out. So come along for the ride. Don't forget to smash that little button that looks like this, and don't forget to smash that button that looks like a thing that says subscribe. Do that.
What you guys didn't see before this is we had some Taco Star.
A lot of it.
Burritos and tequila, baby.
Burritos and margaritas. It's Cinco de Mayo.
Well, it's Cinco de Mayo, and Denver passed a law where, like, if you buy food, you can get booze to go too, which is freaking rad. Thank you, COVID. The one good thing that's come from this. But we ate a lot of Taco Star. Now we all feel like we're gonna shit our pants or throw up.
Yeah.
You guys think my logic is sound on the transmission adapter?
I see no reason why it shouldn't work.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right.
So what I
can
can
see
tell you is
angles
that
getting weird, but I don't think it's anything we don't become really.
I've bolted an E36 M3 transmission to an S54 inside of an E30, and it all worked.
Well, just like a general pro tip, right? The bell housing pattern is the same on.
It's the same. The only thing that's different is that the M20 is clocked 12 degrees to the right.
Oh.
That's it. So it's
Yeah.
going to be clocked a little differently. We'll have to make a little chingadera for the. As a matter of fact, I have the chingadera for this.
You do have the Chingadera.
Yep,
So.
it's in the storage container.
So the only other way to overcome that is if we want it to be truly stock everything, we could build the mounts so the motor sits at the M20 angle.
That's what we should do.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, right now we're just figuring out hardware,
It's
where stuff goes.
Yeah, those are the pressure plate bolts, so we don't need these. I
Okay.
checked those. The rest of this crap, I have no idea because it didn't come with instructions. So I guess we're gonna figure it out as we go.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that
That looks accurate.
that looks like a thing.
That's a good guess, Will.
That also looks like a thing.
Over there.
And let's pretend that's a thing.
Okay, let's get those three
Upper
going.
right
like
corner.
things.
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
Upper
Oh,
right
is
corner.
that an engine boy?
Yeah, look. I
Yeah.
think you're 100% right. 4 big guys.
Okay.
Are they 17s or 18s?
I'm gonna thread you on.
I don't know what they are. They're bolts. I can tell you 100% for certain that they're bolts.
Okay, we got some threads started on this girl.
19s.
Got that one started. Okay. So far we're off to a raging. Oh nope. So far we're failing.
Why? What happened?
We
Oh,
gotta
God.
take this this coolant pipe dongle and we gotta cut it. They didn't clearance this plate either. Or do I have this backwards?
Even if you did,
I don't
is
have
it
this
going to do anything?
backwards, right? So far all we had to do was trim that little coolant pipe, and that may be vehicle specific. I think this is a TSX motor.
Yeah. So let's see that clearancing job. Just beautiful.
Yeah, I just went as close as I could.
So
but
I
we're
Gorgeous.
a little behind.
I gotta be honest with you.
I'm about it.
I wouldn't do it on like a built one, but I think for a stock K24, you can get away with just those.
Just like,
I've run, I've run boosted E30s and stuff that I shouldn't have run. I'm not gonna recommend it, but what I'm saying is you could definitely get away with just 4 bolts, especially when they're that big. Okay, yeah. So basically, if you're using a TSX motor, you just gotta make a little trim, a little guy, just a little, and then that still bolts up. Just this coolant line seems to run in the way a little bit, but trim that little guy. The plate actually bolts right on. It's super easy. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts.
and they come in from the back.
Yep. So you got 2 from the back, 4 from the front, 1 for the starter, 1 for the other side, 180 degrees out from the starter, and we're looking pretty good. And it looks like they tapped this pan for a hell of a lot more than just this transmission, because there's a bunch of taps down
That
here.
and all of these holes fit the dowels. So you got a transmission that's wider and then like 3 options
Sure.
of.
Okay, so this is drilled for 3 different transmissions then, because you got 2, 2, and 2.
Yep.
I bet that it's
Yeah. So.
You know, we need me to move it because we do have some like axis movement with that bearing.
Okay, so that's 1. What else we got? I can't see shit. Is there anything over there that lines up? Does this line up?
Shit.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh, look at all that room for tarp skis.
Did it clear the subframe?
No. The bell housing has cleared the subframe, not the sway bar. And the oil pan has not cleared the steering rack.
Yeah, what you're talking about?
Yeah, because right now we're hitting the pan, but the pan's sloped that way, so we could get another inch or so if we leaned
Okay,
it
well,
over
let's
some.
see where we would be if shit hit the fan. That's not the engine holding itself on the fan. We need to make.
So what's the move? We take a bunch of pictures and figure out how we need to cut shit?
Well,
So no, here's what we're gonna do.
It needs to be front sump. I can tell you right now, only way it's gonna work is if we front sump it.
Yeah, 100%. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to line it up, try to eyeball where the mounts are, like pretty much where that factory cross member would go, and then I'm gonna mark the pan about 1 inch forward, or 1/2 inch, depending on how far back we need to go, forward of the steering rack. And then what we'll do is we'll take the pan off, see where the pickup tube is, and then I will cut the whole front section off the pan,
Yeah, and swing.
or
it.
sorry, the rear section off the pan, box it in, and I will build extensions on the front to get that oil capacity back.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so the engine is not in, it's just in. I think this is about as far as we're gonna take it today. If all this goes well and it goes smoothly, we are fully intending on offering a kit for this swap since no one is currently doing it. There's a lot of people who've said that they're going to and have already done the swap, just nobody's selling any parts for it. So our goal, really, other than making a really fun car and making some entertaining content for you, is to offer these as probably, hopefully, the most affordable kit on the market. But yeah, so I'm gonna make a pan for it. We'll come back later, and hopefully we'll be making engine mounts and trans mounts, and then we won't have to take this out again until we get all the auxiliary stuff figured out, and then we can do some bannies, dude.
Hell yeah.
So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Like, comment, subscribe, share us with your friends, and we'll see you next time.
What do you guys think of this blasphemy too? Comment below.
Oh yeah, please let us know what you think of this nonsense. But at the end of the day, this makes 220 horsepower from the factory. The E30 motor made like what, between 173 and 190, depending on what you got. But
And like at this point in time, most of your guys' cars is making 150, 160.
Yep. Actually, or wait, no, it was 210 or 215. I can't remember, but this is basically the equivalent of putting an S14 in your car. So if you want to know what an E30 M3 feels like, stab one of these suckers in there. It's about the same RPM, about the same power. This is probably a lot more fun and a lot better.
Yeah, and this is a 20th of the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that.
Right on, guys.
So anyway, I'm done.
Have fun.
Like, comment, subscribe. See ya.